Hey guys and gals, it's Saturday afternoon. It's time for some more development, and with that in mind, we're going to do a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and it's going to be great. Maybe. Now let's see if we've hit that 900 mark yet. Probably not, but we might get there today. Not yet. We've got time. We've got time. Right. So we have basically backed up everything so that if we lose our C++ code again, then we haven't. We're going to do a little bit on this displacement thing. We're going to do a couple of little simple C++ functions here for this and this, which is going to be really pretty much nothing. And then we're going to temporarily set this up as an interface function. Okay, now the reason I'm going to do that is this runs on tick. Okay, now we haven't got anything against that apart from the fact that it runs on tick, but you will notice here that it clears an array, then basically gets all actors and basically makes that array again. Okay, now while that kind of makes sense if you want to refresh all of the time, as I said, that kind of makes sense, except for one thing. Why are we doing it all the time? Every tick. That to me doesn't make any sense. What would make more sense is if we only update this when we actually add things that have got these render shapes. Okay? And we know that these render shapes are upon this BP displacement static mesh actor and this character and a character, right? So with that in mind, if we despawn or spawn any of these, that's the times that this should update. Now we can take it a step further, but what we're going to do is our little bit of C++ first, okay? Because that's going to be very, very easy. Okay? Hi Drawer, how are you? So, with that in mind, we have our C++ classes here, right? And we're basically going to create another one. Okay? Now, there's a couple of ways. Oh, thank you, Draw. We've made 900, have we? Thank you very much. Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to create a new class and we're going to keep these separate. So we're going to do a blueprint function library and hit next. And we're going to say helpers and that'll do. Right, and then we're going to say CPP displacement. So this is us going to create our C++. Now, we don't need to do this really, but we're just having some bit of fun with it. And it does give us a little speed boost. It's going to be minimal for this. But again, it's running every frame, so probably worth the doing. Because it is a very simple thing, so yeah. So once this is done, it's going to fail. Then we're going to have to put the other stuff back. And we'll deal with that in a second or two. Right, so it's going to say successfully added, blah blah blah. Then it's not going to work. And then we're going to have to open it, which is fine. Groenland is the game. It's a place, very cold, a bit like Greenland. If you wait till we do this C++ stuff, I'll load up the test map and show you some stuff. Okay? So, what we're going to do is we're going to go to the top of this and we're going to need this. Okay, so we're going to open this, then then we're going to save that, and then we shall build it out. And it'll all be good. Then we shall create our functions, and there's only going to be 2, so we'll not get too excited about it. Okay, we'll do a quick compile, and then as you can see, our C++ has been added. Which is great. And I guess that's done it. And I guess it's pretty easy because basically there's nothing to it. Right, so we have our thing. Then we're going to do public. Give ourselves some space. We'll drag this down a bit so that we're going to see what we need. And will we just put this into one function? How many inputs have we got? 4 and 2. 4 and 2. Is that a bit? Is that a linear colour? Yeah, it's a linear colour. Okay. Oh, that's fine. Okay, so let's do our first one. So we'll do this in a oneer, right? So go to here. We'll do this one. Actually, we won't do that one. What we'll do is this one. Okay, and paste that in there. Then we are going to rename it, but we'll get everything else set up first, and that's that. We'll call this disp update because it's part of this displacement update. Then we're basically going to have two outputs, right? So it looks to me like two linear colors. So F linear color, that, then text, call it text, space, if I can spell right, location. Are you working on something yourself at the moment, Draw? Or are you just learning stuff? Color, that. I've got no idea, Draw. I've heard that there's other stuff that's better. Shape, texture. What are you working on? You got learning. Okay. So oh god, I forgot what that was called. Shape, texture to world. Okay, shape, text to world. And now we're going to get our variables in. And that's a vector 2D. And that's a vector 2D. Cool. So D and capture location, then F vector 2D I never usually say, by the way, that one particular product or like Visual Studio or C Lion is better. It just depends on the person, you know, that's using it, what they prefer, usually. I'm sure you'll have people on both sides saying both are better. Right, but I've found that basically it's whatever you like to use, really. Area size and float. World capture scale. And then what we'll do is we'll put our second set of variables in on the second line, and that keeps us all nice and tidy, and we don't need to, because we've already got them, capture area size and capture location. So that's actually all we need, right? lucid dreams, I am making changes to... We're actually not using ultra dynamic sky anymore. We were using it, right? But we're not using it anymore. But what I am doing is making changes to where calculations are done, which you could probably do in your ultra dynamic sky, by the way, and the weather, and putting some of the heavy calculations into C++ so that it increases performance. So we were using ultra dynamic sky at one point, but we've gone with something else. But it doesn't really change what I'm doing here, because number one, is displacement part of ultra dynamic sky? Might be. Can't remember, check in a minute. But either way, as I've said, I am making slight adjustments to... I was doing this before. Right, don't be doing that, right? Now, we could, in theory, now this was doing this before, and I'm not sure why. Is it something to do with... We're not using any of them. We're not using any of them. That should be fine. Right, is this just being silly? I'm thinking this is just being silly. I can do that for you. Don't know about the 15%, but... I'll try that. Try that. Right, yeah. I don't know why, oops. I don't know why it's doing this. Okay, so we're just gonna have to do something slightly different. Right. Oops, that's the wrong one. Ah, wait a minute. So we're going to copy that. We're going to go to here. We're going to say void that disp update, then that, then we're going to go to here, Then we're going to copy that. And then we're going to paste that in. And then we're going to curly brackets it. Then I'm going to build it and see if that likes it or not. Okay, so it's going. And it liked it. Yeah, it's just to kind of keep my hand in as well with the C++. As I say, no mucho. 200, sí, está bien. Yeah, so yeah, I'm trying to keep my hand in because basically, if you've done anything with Unreal Engine, you'll work on something that's like, let's say, animation blueprints, and then you'll go and do something else like C++, and then by the time you come back to animation blueprints, you've blooming forgot everything, right? And that happens with basically everything. Well, it does for me, but then I'm an old git, so I'm going to forget everything anyway. I'll tell you what I'll do as well, I'll make this a bit bigger for you guys, so that you can see it a bit better. I keep forgetting to do this and you guys never remind me, but yeah. Right, so that should make it a bit clearer, and that's basically the calculation we're doing, and we're going to be outputting, actually, we're outputting a 2D. The first one we're outputting a 2D, the second one we are outputting a linear color. Right? So that's a linear color. And that's a vector 2D. And I don't think we actually said that was a vector 2D. Yeah, we didn't. So this one isn't a linear color. This is actually a vector 2D. Right? So we're going to have to replace these. Right, which, not a big deal. It's all good fun. All good fun in the end. As I said, once I've done these couple of calculations and returned these, I'll show you a bit of the game, right? So there we go. Now we've got to do this first calculation. So our first calculation is capture location minus actor location, and we're going to bracket that, and this is going to be texture space location, right? So we may as well fire this in at the start, right? So we'll bang that there, we'll say that, and then we'll start on our stuff, right? And then this is going to be multiplied by our world area size, right? and then we'll bracket that. And I don't know what the hell happened there, but anyway. Right, so we'll bracket that, and that's going to be plus this part here. So it's going to be capture scale in here. Then we're going to say 1 minus and bracket that. And I keep hitting the wrong keys, but don't worry about it. So that's going to be multiplied by 0.5 f, and we'll bracket that. And there is our first calculation done. Okay. And I don't know what happened there. I must have hit about 7,000 returns somehow. Okay. And we'll hit a return there though, just to give us some space. In fact, no, we won't. What I'll do is I'll tab this back to here. Right. Cool. So our next calculation is this one here. Okay. So this is going to be fun. Right. This is going to be a fun one. We do need that. Right. So we'll do this the fun way, i.e. let's make it complicated. We're going to be doing shape. Apparently I still can't type. Considering the fact that I can actually touch type, it's quite astounding how badly I actually type. Right, but anyway, so we're going to say F linear color, and as per usual I am probably guessing at how I make this up. Right. So apparently we're saying capture location dot x. Right. And I'll decide in a minute if we're going to I don't see the point of this. Oh no, that's not right. It's that minus that. Okay, so we're going to have to redo this. Right, and I'll tell you what we'll do. Right, we might, I'm going to say temp LC for temp linear color, right? We might change the way we do this at the end. If we simplify it. Right. Actually, you know what we'll do? Yeah, that's fine. Right, okay, we'll say temp LC equals F linear color. That's not a vector. It's not a linear. Duh. It's not even a linear color. It's a bloody vector 2D. Right. That should be better. So we'll say F vector 2D that and that and capture area size where's the bloody capture area size? Okay, it's there. Is that the same? Wait a minute, let's just check that. That's not the same thing. That's not the same thing. Right. So we're going to have to say another float. Capture area size, comma, take that out. Probably showing you guys how to brutalize C++, but hey ho, that's the way it goes, I'm afraid. Not my language development language of choice. Right, so this, copy this there, paste that, and basically multiplied by 0.5 F and copy that and that. Right, so we've now got right, okay, so this delete that. We might actually, yeah, so this is temp lc dot x right, and then temp lc dot y comma, then capture area size comma, capture area size. Okay. Build. Let's go, there we go. Okay. Right. And just to make sure everything's up to date, we can do this now and it will not take very long. Right. Oh, look at that. We do love a good crash. Awesome. Awesome sauceum. Going to close that for now. Then open that up again. This is the reason that we love. This is the reason that we love C++ implementation in Unreal Engine. There's just that niggling feeling in the back of your mind that any time the whole thing could crash. Just adds a little bit of excitement, you know. And people are making noise outside, so the dog's going ballistic. Okay, we're back. And we'll open this back up and we'll compile again. Right, give me a second till I go and beat the dog up. I'm not really going to do that. Alright, sorry about that, but right, we're going to compile again. And hopefully this will be okay. Right, thank you. And that's kind of annoying. But anyway, right, so right, anyway. So we need to do CPP displacement, and there is our display. Right. So now what we can do is we can copy and paste those. And round them up here. We have a problem with the water pump, so there's people outside and my dog doesn't like that. So we just basically copy these across. And that's actually not a float. This is actually an integer. I suppose we can just do that, right? That'll do us. And fundamentally, this will basically plug in here. And the other one, sorry, I'm getting this. Yeah, the dog doesn't need food. What he needs is for the people outside to go away. Right? Because that's what he's getting upset about. He's getting upset about the noise outside. Right, so we'll add a reroute node there. And now I'm just making sure. Right, yeah, that's okay. Now, what we'll do is we'll duplicate that, right, but we'll recombine that, and then that's going to go in there. Okay, then this is going to go here, and this will go there. Okay, so basically we'll remove this code. That goes in there. That goes in there. Right, and what we can actually do, which is quite handy in this case, is to bring this down here. Then kind of straighten this up. Right. I can go there. Then we can do the same over here. Disconnect that. Drag this down a bit. And drag that down a bit. And there we go. Then we can grab all of that. Thank you, Lucid Dreams. Yeah, we kind of know that it's Greenland in a lot of places, which is kind of the point, but kind of not. Because it's not really Greenland, but it's kind of Greenland, but yeah. But thank you for the good wishes, much appreciated. If we can pull that now, we are good. Okay, and at that point, I think it's our time. Let's see if there's any sneaky wee. Yeah, it's just a variable. That's okay. Okay, so everything else is fine. We are good with that. And it's time for a cigarette, guys. So if you're enjoying the stream, hit like and subscribe. I'll be back in a few minutes. It won't be long at all. Check out the description for links to the Kickstarter preview. And there's somebody as well. I'll be back in a few. Alright guys, we are back. If the dog starts barking again, I'll turn the mic off as not to annoy you guys, because it certainly annoys me. And if it would be okay if I wasn't streaming and stuff, because he'd be sitting with me and not barking, but enough of the dog stories. Right, so hit something in the chat if you guys want to see a bit of the gameplay rather than the development, and I'll show you what we have so far. In the meantime, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create an interface. Okay. Now, we don't have an interface here, so that's okay. So we're going to go to blueprints, interface, and we're going to say BPI displacement. Okay, and we're going to have two functions. One is going to be spawned, interesting. Okay, that's fine. We're going to call that fine. Right, and we're going to add new. This is going to have an input. Actually, no, it's not. Well, it might. It depends how we do this, right? In the first instance, I'm not going to have one, right? But we are going to have two functions. We're going to have spawned, despawned. Okay. And basically, I'm going to minimize that. In here, we're going to have class settings and BPI displacement. Okay. And the reason we're doing this is we're going to write the functions to do this. Okay. So we're going to write the functions to do, basically to copy this. Right, so basically we'll implement event and we'll implement event, and these are going to do the same thing. Right, which is basically this. Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to say custom event here, and apparently we can't do this in a function, which is fine. Right, so what we'll do in this case is we'll just grab this code, right, we'll copy it, Then we'll paste it in there. Now, this is the slightly more effective way of doing this. Right? Because what we're going to do is we're going to remove this. Interesting. And it looks like this all actors thing is never actually called. It's always false. Right? So in theory we can just take that out and then basically do that. So if it's always false, it's always doing this. Okay? Which is fine. Now, what we actually want to do here is, for example, with our pawn, we want to basically send it a message and say we have spawned. Right? And then this will update this. Okay? Now, I have previously tested this to say do this once, and it does, excuse me, still work. So, fundamentally, it's cool. Okay? And you can see there that we never say all actors. Right? So this is always false anyway. So it's only ever doing this. Okay? And this is what you come across when you're using marketplace assets. There'll be some things that just don't make any sense. Like, for example, this. If it's always set to no actors, then why even bother with this? I suppose it's probably because at some point during the development of this that they were using this, right? But then changed their mind and went, oh, we don't really need to do that. Now, the next point is we could actually add and remove stuff on demand. Right? So these are getting all the actors. Right? And this stack might not be. We might be able to actually update this. Well, what I'm saying here is we might be able to update this on an individual basis. So rather than clear the whole thing down and then rebuild the whole array, we might actually be able to just add the actors that we want to and remove them as we want to, right? But the first iteration for the speed up of this is just to basically say, don't do this on tick, only do it when an actor spawns or an actor despawns. Okay? Now, the interesting thing here would be if we tell it that we have despawned, we have to put a little delay in here so that the actor actually despawns, right? Because when you think about it, we're going to have to call it when just before the destroy self or destroy actor, right? So basically we want it to have been destroyed and then we call this again, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a delay in here, and 0.2 should probably do us. Right? And that should actually make a bit more sense. Go ahead, delete that. Okay. When they spawn, we obviously want them to be automatically added, so this is fine. But on the despawn, we need this little delay. Okay. And then, as I have said, on the update, we can remove this entirely. So this is no longer going on tick, which should give us a performance gain, and then our little bit of C++ should give us a performance gain. These are just setting up vector parameters, so there's nothing really I can do about that. So yeah, there's that. Anyway. So yeah. That should get us going. Hi, Lucky Mark, how you doing? So, fundamentally, we should be able to go into our pawn, and I'm a bit wary about doing that, funnily enough. But what we do need is probably, if we go to our monsters, right, and something tells me that we have BP monster, right, and what we can do is add this to the class settings. Okay, so we can say BP displacement, right, and we can save that. Then we can go to our wildlife, and we have BP based wildlife, and we can also add this. BPI displacement. Okay. And on here, do we have, yeah, here we have it here. So we have destroy self, right? So we can get actor of class right, and it's that, and we can say despawn. Except that's actually not what we want to do. Right? We're going to say despawn message. Okay. Your read's still in Unreal Engine. What was the problem? Right, so we're going to add a breakpoint here, and then we're going to load up our test map. Right, once this is compile that, then we're just going to play in the editor. Right. And there we go, despawned. And if we step into here, there we go. So that works perfectly. Okay. So we kind of do need, let's have a look at these, right? So this is BP stag, right? Now, interesting. Is this Unreal Engine 4 or 5? Now the question is, yeah, I don't think this has an event begin play. Which is actually fine, kinda. You know what the best idea is? I've had stuff like that before, but it's not that seems to be like that. And it's like if you type in for loop, then they don't come up. And what you've got to do is basically get into another blueprint that does have it, then bring it up and copy and paste it across. So if you've got that structure in another blueprint and you break it in another blueprint, then just copy and paste across your structure and you're breaking it. You could try that. Right, so this does not have a begin play. Right. And this is really annoying, and my dog is annoying me. And they just had to decide to come and fix the water pump while I was streaming. Right, now whichever way I do this now, it's probably, like if I do it in here, right, let's say I do this. Let's just copy that just now. Right, and if we do event, begin play, right, whichever way I do this, I suppose. Right, so if we do this and we say spawn, and we're looking for message. Right, and there we go. So what we want to do is we want to check this, right, to see if it actually runs, and it does, which is cool. Step into, right, so that works. Okay, so that's going to work on all of our wildlife. Okay, and our next one is going to be the monster. And this is the destroy actor thing again. Right. So get, right, oh wait a minute, can I do this? Yep. And we need the message. Okay. Right. And now we need this again, but in the base monster. That's on begin play. Right, now we know that that is a bit iffy at the moment. That should be spawn. Spawned message. Right. Right. So that should be cool. And let's carry on. So the last one we've got is basically our pawn. And the question is, did we add the class? No. About 3 years. 3 years, Simon Mayer. About that. So we'll go BPI, displacement. Then we basically go paste. Okay, we don't go paste. We go paste. That means we're not hitting that. Interesting. Which means we won't hit this either, but we're not going to worry about that. We're going to say spawned. Spawned message. Right. Oh, you bugger. Right. We're going to have to do a check on this stuff because there's something going on. Right, because when we do this, on the main map, it appears that we're never getting here. Right? And we're going to need to check that we are. Right? Let's kind of simple as that. But the other thing I really want to check, or start checking for, is for our map to be loading. Right? And we're going to do a test on that first. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to create a macro. Right? And right, what we're going to do here. Streaming. We do want context, right? We want that. Right now, we could end up passing this in. Probably we do. Right, and we want to return if the level is loaded. Okay. And we want two outputs on this. And we're going to say not complete. And the other one is going to say loaded. Right. Yeah, that's always a good idea. But I don't think it was 5.1 that I had the problems with. Or entirely anyway. But yeah, I had problems, weird issues with like commands or nodes not showing up, and a lot of people had reported it when I checked myself. It was one of them things, I'm afraid. And we're going to branch on that. Right. Is level loaded is true. I suppose we could put them the other way around. Right, and we can say loaded. Not loaded. Right. And then we need to rename this. Right. Rename. Go to here and then back to our event graph. Okay. And then if we come to here and drag this in. Okay. And we can basically say Greenland, I think it's underscore main. Now obviously this is only going to work if we load up Greenland main, right? So here we put delay of 0.2 seconds, and then we'll launch it back to here. Okay. Now, actually, what we're going to do here, right, is we're going to do it with test map. So, what I'm going to do is make a literal name, and then I'm going to duplicate that, and then I'm going to have the two names so that we can interchange them. When needed. So we can test these in both scenarios. So let's check we've got the right name. We've got the right name there. Greenland main, got the right one there. Okay. So in theory, if we press play, we get our thing. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, it's because it's not actually streaming a level in this case, right? So I think what we need to do is open up our main level, right? Because this does stream it, I think. And we'll try it for there, shall we? And thank you guys, we've hit 902 subscribers, so that's good. That's my dog losing its crap again. Right, so in theory, if we press play, we shall see what we get. Apparently nothing. Well, it won't be nothing actually. It just takes a minute to get going when we reload up this level because it's pretty big. And there we go. Now the interesting thing is, if I press escape, yeah, it's giving us this crap. And that's actually, I think that's actually okay because I never changed this pawn thing around. So if we go to event, it was right. Darn it. Now I'm wondering, right, bear with me guys on this one. This is X3Y0. X3 underscore Y0. Right, but we need to underline that. And we'll see if that makes a difference. In the meantime, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a save all on that. I'm going to dismiss that. Ultra dynamic weather, yes, but we took it out. Right. This. We did, but we're not using it anymore. We're using a different one. We are using this BP day-night cycle, I believe, which does weather and time and stuff, clouds, fog, weather, rain, puddles, thunder, blah blah blah. So it's not ultra dynamic sky. We're not using ultra dynamic sky or ultra dynamic weather anymore. Right, so yeah, there's that. So what we're going to do here is go back and we want to check this out. Right, now it did go into level loaded. So we can step into this. Step over. Right, so that's basically not working. No, it's just a different asset that we're using. So that is a thing. And it does say it's loaded. And that's because it is loaded. And that's because we've loaded it into memory. Notice we have no errors. Now that's weird. Is that? That can't be right. Right, hang on a second. If I run this in standalone, right? Let's see what we get here. this is working. Because this should stay black for a while. Although, having said that, it also didn't work. Right. So there's something weird going on there. Right. So what I'm interested in is this. Right, and I'm going to say not loaded. Right, and then press play. Okay, and this should show us if we're actually loaded or not. Right, so this doesn't appear to be working. Right, so it's saying not loaded. So that's kind of right. Yep, so that's cool. Right, wait a minute. Lucid dreams, it depends what it is usually. If it's something like AI, yeah, AI can be a fickle little thing, but there's certain other things, no. Right, so right, okay. So what we actually want is probably that. Right. And play. Let's try that. Yeah, there's certain things, lucid dreams, that I'll try a restart for. Depends what it is, but I find that AI can get a bit bored, and restarting sometimes does wonders for that if you're doing AI or something like that. But it just depends. C++ as well. Alright, so this is good. Right. And there we go. Right, cool. Now what we want to do, right, and we know how to get that boosted right up. Okay, that's some of the things that we've been working on. But you see that our actual loading thing is working. Okay, like a mark, I'm just about to head anyway, because I think that's a good place to leave it for this afternoon. I'm going to be back in just over 4 hours at 8 PM Central. If you've enjoyed the stream, hit like and subscribe, it's much appreciated. And check out the description for links to our preview Kickstarter, Discord, my personal Discord, Patreon, my previous game on Steam, which is still only $1, and there's one more thing, yeah, the website. So thank you guys for watching, hope to see you guys back, especially Lucid Dreams, Simon Mayer. Thank you guys today for everybody that has subscribed, it's appreciated, and bye bye for now.